Hi, welcome to another episode of David Rides a Trike. I'm David, I'm riding a trike. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I try to provide a little motivation to people with chronic illnesses and disabilities to find some fun form of outdoor exercise, because doing so can be both therapeutic and a lot of fun. Personally, I fall into both the chronically ill and disabled categories. I was diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic when I was 1.5 years old, although I had a pancreas transplant when I was 41, and that technically cured me of being a diabetic. I've also had I've had 2 kidney transplants, stage 3 cancer with chemo, all kinds of skin cancers, viral bacterial infections, a whole slew of illnesses and maladies. Now, as I just did at the beginning of each one of my videos, I mentioned the fact that I'm legally blind, and I was going to talk a little bit about that today. Technically, legally blind is a legal term defined by the U.S. federal government. It means that you either have a field of vision that is 20 degrees or narrower, and that's a very narrow field of vision, or the vision in your better eye is no better than 20/200 with corrective lenses. I fall into the latter category, the vision no better than 20/200. I'm completely blind in my right eye. I don't see anything out of that, not even light. And my left eye, my better eye, meets that vision is no better than 20/200 category. And I use the term legally blind just to give people an idea that, yeah, my vision is pretty bad. It's hard for me to explain my visual disability. It's not so much a matter of focus, rather it's obscurity or opaqueness. Obviously, your field of vision should be perfectly clear. Mine isn't. There's always a kind of film or filter there. And the best comparison I could make is that it's like looking through a doily held right up to your eye, or a piece of cheesecloth. And if you don't know what a doily is, you're probably younger than 50. So that's what my vision is like. There's this obscurity in it. Now I'm going to take you back to 2010 when I went on dialysis because my first kidney transplant had failed. I was in a different situation than most people who are on dialysis are in. And that's because I'd been living on a transplanted kidney donated by my sister back in 1986. So this kidney was 24 years old when it failed. In the meantime, my 2 native kidneys had completely stopped functioning and withered away to nothing but something that probably resembled a couple of raisins. So when I went on dialysis, it was because I had absolutely no kidney function. Most people have some, tiny little bit. And if you're wondering, does this mean that you didn't pee? Yep, that's what it meant. But because I had no kidney function, I was extremely weak. And when I used to go to dialysis, I used to lay there and sometimes I think about how nice it would be to ride my bike again. It had been a number of years since I had been able to ride due to various illnesses, but I kept telling myself, when I get my kidney transplant, I'm going to start riding again. And I always said when I got my transplant, not if, because I was working hard to find a living donor. And I knew eventually my efforts would pay off. So I did get that transplant. I got a new kidney, started functioning immediately, and after 2 unexpected surgeries after my kidney transplant in the following 2 months, I got my trike and I started riding. A lot of people, and even some of you guys, have asked me, well, how can you ride when you're legally blind? And part of it is I know this trail extremely well. I do most of my riding on this trail. I've ridden somewhere in the neighborhood of 14,000 miles on it and really do know it well. And for me, it's a very safe trail. There are very few roads to cross, actually coming to one right now. Most of them have underpasses or overpasses or have extremely low traffic density, like that one I just crossed. So that's really not a concern for me. No, I can't read the signs along the trail, but I can see the trail itself. And there are times when I can't immediately determine if something up ahead is a human or a horse. So I slow down and wait until I can figure out which one it is, and I proceed accordingly. I can't always see a deer that might bound across the trail in front of me and into the woods, but I see the blur and I can hear the twigs breaking and the hooves on the ground, and very often I can determine exactly where that deer went or how far he went. In other words, I use other senses to make sure that I'm safe and I don't take chances. And on those days when it's hard to motivate myself to get out and ride, I think back to the days when I was on dialysis, laying there 4 hours at a time, 3 days a week, having my blood filtered by a machine, and dreaming about being able to get out and go for a real ride. And if the thought ever crosses my mind that, well, you can't see all there is to see, I know that I see enough. And what I see always makes me happy. I concentrate on what I can see, not what I'm missing. Would I rather have perfect 20/20 vision? I honestly don't know. Humans are extremely adaptable, and I've adapted to living my life with my vision as it is. Yeah, it would be cool to have great vision again, but right now I'm living in my normal. I'm riding in what is my normal world. Perfect vision, yeah, it would probably be cool for a little bit, but then it would just become normal. And I'm already living in normal, so I've got that. Okay, that's it for this ride. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up down below. Share this video with friends if you'd like to. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you on the next ride. Bye-bye.